Oh, I didn't know they used chopsticks in India.
To be clear, this is a Chinatown Indian restaurant.
But we're not in Chinatown.
Sir, you are eating at Mr. Chow's secret Indian kitchen. This is the traditional cuisine of working class Indian immigrants that lived in cheap rooms in Chinatown in 1970s New York. These destitute immigrants were forced to create inspired curries using only Chinatown ingredients and cutlery that they could scavenge from their landlords. Here, today, we tell their story.
Sei Biandao, Sei Nali.
If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear one of our more pugnacious chefs speaking broken Chinese, but with an Indian accent.
Meio Rio Shui.
He's just asked why the tap is taking so long to heat up. All for authentic ambience, of course. He's actually a Frenchman. Shh.
That's amazing. I think we all know this story, but I think I just felt it for the first time.
Gigi.
The thing is though, I'm not very good with chopsticks.
Very well. I'll bring over the European cutlery.
Wait, I can just call him back later. He never answers this time of day.
Hello?
I caught you! Lee, I caught him!
You didn't catch me, I answered.
Yes, but I have a strategy to catch you when your defenses are low. Lee, I caught him!
What do you want?
You busy?
Not really.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
But you're not busy.
I was busy doing nothing.
What do you mean?
I was doing my accidental meditation practice.
I'll call you back then.
Okay.
The only thing is, I've been told by a professional that I should hear your voice every day for 5 minutes.
Who's the professional?
Some man with a degree but no children. Quite a grandiose prescription, don't you think? I mean, he should at least prescribe my child with morphine so that he's willing to answer the phone.
What do you want?
You sound busy. I'll call you back.
Oh, I thought you caught me. Why throw me back in the ocean?
Because my voice is apparently suffocating you.
Alright. If you really need to know, I'm on a date.
You're lying. Where?
Mr. Chow's secret Indian kitchen?
Well, I'm very proud of you. Talking to your mother when you're on a date is a very powerful contraceptive. Am I on speaker? I don't hear anyone laughing.
That's because I'm alone.
Jamie, if you're going to date yourself, then at least do it in private with the door locked.
Very funny. No, she's late.
Well, if she's late, then you should get out of there. Always leave a date before you know you've been stood up. Trust me, you never forget the pity of a waiter bringing you your third round of prawn crackers.
Wow, really burning your memory, huh?
Not as much as when you forgot to keep the door locked.
Did you ever go to a restaurant, eat the free prawn crackers, and then tell the waiter you got stood up and left?
Yes, once on my lunch break. Wow, you really know me. You really know your mother.
Sure.
I mean, I personally would have left by now.
So, I wouldn't be here if Dad missed the bus to your first date.
Your father wouldn't miss his morning fart, let alone a bus. Now, if there'd been a squirrel eating an acorn in the park on the way to museum, maybe he would have chased around the park for 20 minutes.
And you would have left him.
Yes.
Huh. My fate was held in an acorn.
Oh, I've missed your philosophizing, Jamie. But no, of course you'd still be here. A child is preordained to a mother. Even if Lee had never entered the picture, he'd still be mine. In fact, he'd probably still be in Perth.
Okay, gotta go. Bye. Hey.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I got distracted by a hypnotic violinist on the street.
Breathtaking?
No, not at all. She hasn't got a violin.
What?
stole her violin while she was sleeping outside the 7-Eleven. Who would do such a thing?
Wait. How do you know she was a violinist?
Well, I bought her a coffee and she told me there were only 2 things she took with her after she was evicted. A sleeping bag and a violin. And I couldn't see a violin.
Right.
Any more questions?
No, I just remember you're you.
Remind me to call up a couple secondhand music stores tomorrow. See that couple over there? They came in just before me.
So what?
They got a table and we didn't. Did you choose this bench?
No, I like tables.
So what happened?
I don't know, I got guided here.
You don't know how to resist the guide?
Of course I know how to resist the guide.
You have to pick the right waiter to get the right guide.
I once solo dined at a Lazy Susan because I slayed my way from waiter to waiter just to get the optimal guide.
Well then, what happened?
I accepted the bench. I don't mind it. It's a casual vibe.
Casual. Right, so this reminds me that we're just having casual sex.
Wow, record time, Zara. I wonder if they have free prawn crackers. Wait,
What people you see?
everyone?
Flat up.
So what?
How many white people do you see here?
Everyone. I see every white person here. So what?
Well, we got the bench.
No, I chose the bench because I knew you would be late and I prefer staring into the void by myself at this lonely, tucked away bench.
So let's just here.
What people? So, like, where'd you go? Here we go. Just ignore me, as you do. I'll just wait here. Waiter? Hello? Anybody?
Sorry, Jamie. All right, sorry, I'm just in my own world sometimes. What did you say?
So what if there's white people here?
Yeah, well, they've clearly given us the bench in front of the window beside the main entrance.
Okay, like I said, I chose the bench because I knew you would be late, and I prefer staring into the void by myself at this lonely, tucked away bench.
Check out this food blogger. He just ate here, right?
How do you know he's a food blogger?
Everyone's a food blogger. Watch him. Look, he's turning his phone landscape. Now he's gonna slightly pan the camera left just to get us in the shot. And oh my fuck, he's actually taking a photo of us. Fuck that. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, this is not for your Insta quota. Taking a photo, menu on the window. You know what? I'm not gonna be a good model for this place.
Yeah, you just look more hip when you're angry.
Do you know what you want to order?
Not really. We can ask for recommendations.
Are you ready to order?
Yeah. To start, can we order an Indian waiter to give us good recommendations?
menu very well.
No Indians on staff then?
I love your hair.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Do you prefer flavours from the south or the north?
Oh, I'm not sure.
What do you eat at home?
Fries?
May I ask you a question, sir?
Sure.
Before I ask you this question, I would like to clarify my intention. I do not want this to be an out-of-the-blue faux pas in which people often ask you, which would intend that I see you in a different way.
What's the question?
I understand that people like you find yourself building intimate relationships with people, and they spew this silly question onto you, which makes you wonder, is this all the world sees of me?
Wait, what?
I'm asking you this question because we're talking about flavours, and I believe I can make a more precise recommendation if I can gather some data about your social conditioning.
I think there's a table behind you that needs cutlery.
They shall wait, for I must not tear through the fabric of your own self-image by taking insufficient precaution. You must know I am not asking you this question because I'm confounded by your Australian accent. I find it banal. And what makes your pigment darker than mine is an ancestral genetic mutation that occurred in the central plains of Europe and tells me nothing about your dreams or melancholies or what songbird you like to listen to in the spring morning.
Can I have number 34?
For I'm not trying to build a meaningful portrait of you. It is a shabby construct with no real ramification regarding your intellect or propensity for aggression. I'm simply asking you to help me help you. Do you trust me, sir?
I trust you.
I apologise if this activates memories of the same question being asked without the requisite preamble. I see you, sir, and I love you, and I would like to ask... Where are you from?
Perth. I'm from Perth.
Sorry, let me reframe the question. Where were your parents born?
I don't know.
Very well. My tact has been flawed, and I know when I have overstepped my boundaries. I'll have another way to serve you for the remainder of the evening.
Where the fuck does she get off asking a question like that? What am I even reading?
It's Chinatown Indian.
What?
It's 1970s New York Chinatown Indian.
Wait, why are you speaking in hashtags? That's not a thing.
Well, it exists because we're here.
I think this restaurant was generated by an Instagram algorithm. Am I even here? Did you put acid in my drink, Jamie? Why are you letting me look at Instagram while I'm on acid?
Chinatown Indian is a real thing.
No, it's not. This is another fictional cuisine perpetrated by the whites. I'm sorry, Jamie. I don't eat fusion. This is just another stolen, bastardized food pretending to be stateless so that white people can profit off it. You really need to decolonize your diet.
We all have taste buds. Nobody owns taste. There's not a square centimeter patch of the human tongue that Christopher Columbus invaded.
You're wrong. These top chefs go to remote villages, mine rare ingredients, take out the funky stuff to suit white palates, then give it a weird concept like Chinatown Indian. Then they sell it for more than the monthly wage of the person of color who showed it to them.
Okay, should we go somewhere else then?
No, my rant is over. I don't want to seem inflexible.
That's true.
You know, it's important to compromise your most cherished values in a relationship, even if the other person doesn't have any.
Okay, what's your problem?
I can't financially support this restaurant.
Sir, I apologise for my reappearance. But before you banish me, I would like to inform you that given our earlier confrontation, your meal will be on the house tonight.
I forgive you. Can I have number 34?
Yeah. Excellent.
Thank you.
And for you, madame?
Yeah, I'll get the Szechuan dal and chicken tikka bok choy. But can you bring me the sauces and ingredients separately so that I can create a dish that's supposed to exist?
Absolutely not.
On second thought, I'm not that hungry.
Could I also get the dish she mentioned? I might as well get 2 photos for my Instagram while I'm here.
Very well, sir.
You can't just switch it off, can you?
I'll switch it off when white people switch it off.
Switch what off?
White supremacy?
White people have it that lucky?
Life's easier for white people.
Do you want life to be easy for your future kids?
Yeah, of course I do.
You should have white kids then. That's if you love them.
And how am I supposed to achieve that?
You could start by joining some Irish dating sites.
You think they'll let me in?
Yeah, I'm sure their entry policy is lax for women, but just wear green.
Then I should just hope that this Irish guy is the love of my life, understands my politics, and is an ally.
Maybe not all those things, but you could make the sacrifice for your future kids, right?
I think I want to secure a happy future for my brown children, not sell out to make life easy.
You don't want to sell out to white children? Once you drop a couple brown babies, maybe you want to go mainstream.
I don't know if I'd love a white child.
It's your own child, though.
I'd be having the child with somebody I didn't love.
Your own child.
Okay, fuck, I love my white child. I'm not a sociopath. What if they're cringe?
How so?
I don't know. What if they send back food that's too spicy?
That's what all children do.
Yeah, but I won't know if it's because they're a child or an entitled white kid. Oh, what if my kid wants an almond latte with vanilla syrup every morning?
Okay, I agree. It all takes some adapting. Did you know that white mothers in South Yarra can breastfeed almond milk now?
Really? Yeah, maybe my purpose is to turn Caucasian gametes into POC babies.
Yes, change things from the inside. In utero?
Yeah, I guess we won't be having a baby then.
Warning, 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 warning.
It's a fucking joke. Are you that immature?
Look, Zara, I think we should wait for eugenic advancements to allow us to have a white baby together. Maybe 20, 30, 40, even 50 years from now.
Where's the food? I'm ready to eat. Joke, eat, fuck, early start tomorrow. That's how this goes, right?
But we could always adopt a white child and sculpt our vision of the perfect white ally. Fuck, I'm good.
Nah, I really might not love them. I'd need a postpartum IV drip of endorphins to stay attached to that child. Relax, it's a joke. Hey, why can't I be funny? Why are you so shy all of a sudden? Hello? This is what you always do. You just stir me up until I incriminate myself.
I was adopted?
Bullshit. Go on. Tell me the joke. In what sense were you adopted?
In the parental sense?
How?
How was I adopted?
Bullshit. You're not adopted. Although, it would make total sense. But no, you're fucking with me. Wait, are you actually adopted? By what? By white people? Is that why you don't know anything about race? Oh my god, your last name is Taylor. You're a white person? Fuck off, how?
Wait, how am I a white person?
How were you adopted?
I was abandoned as a baby.
In India?
Yeah?
No. How?
What do you mean, how?
Well, what, you can't remember?
Well, yesterday we went to the botanical gardens, and the day before that I watched a season of Seinfeld. So that means no, I can't remember how I was abandoned as a baby.
Well, have you read about it?
Read about it.
Your situation.
Nope.
How does that kind of thing usually happen?
I haven't gotten around to Googling it.
Wow.
I mean, I did check on Amazon for how to abandon your child for dummies, but it's only available on Alibaba. That's the Chinese Amazon.
That's not funny.
Excuse me, I'm allowed to make these jokes. I was adopted, remember?
How the fuck did I not know you're adopted? See, this is what I mean. You don't open yourself up in any way. You just sit there and let me talk and rant, and then I look like a crazy person.
I mean, I do talk to myself about my friends. It's just that when I'm with you, you talk so much that I forget that I was even born.
Okay.
What are you doing? What?
I'm holding space for you.
Stop it.
When I asked you, have you read about it, I meant in an adoption file or something like that.
Nah, not really. I know I was adopted from an orphanage, I know that much. But I don't even know what city I was born in.
You have to find out.
Yeah, I could ask my adoptive parents,
Who are?
Catherine and Lee.
That explains so much.
Okay, maybe it explains why I'm such a chilled out person despite being abandoned as a baby.
I have so many questions.
I'm giving you 3 max.
Why haven't you asked your parents where you were born?
Because I'm fine. I love my family. My mother is the most grateful person that I've ever met, and I wouldn't insult her by questioning her motherhood.
What about your birth mother?
What about my birth mother?
Your birth mother?
I'm still waiting for her to accept my friend request.
I just can't believe you're not curious. I mean, I can't put a sweater on unless I know where it's from. I need to know the country, the factory, and the monthly wage of a worker there.
Am I the sweater in this analogy? Because whoever knitted me, thank you. Impeccable craftsmanship, I must say, and thank you for donating me to Goodwill. That's 3 questions, we're done.
That was 2.
Fine, go.
Is your mother alive?
My mum believes in God, which I find quite ridiculous. In fact, she believes in over 1,000 of them. On an information retention level, I find her faith to be very impressive. But I don't think my mother ever heard the famous Catholic saying, "Too many Hindu gods spoil the broth," because whatever all these gods had planned for her, it all ended up being for Catherine. When my mother was 15, a man asked her to make a very difficult choice. He asked her, "If you were to be cast out on a desert island and you could only take 3 gods with you, who would you take?" Her first choice is easy. Lord Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. Saraswati would provide my mother an infinite number of books to satisfy her curiosity on the desert island. There'd be books everywhere. At the top of palm trees where there should be coconuts, books cascading out of waterfalls, books crawling on the beach like migrating crabs. And more importantly, Saraswati could grant my mother the power of literacy. You see, my mother never learned to read. So Saraswati could make the desert island seem like a paradise, oceans away from her own overbearing mother, who could only teach her how to deluge her brother's clothes or stretch an egg into 6 omelets. The second god she selected was Ganesh, the god of removing obstacles, a wise deity that clears the path for clarity. My mother knew she would have to rely on Ganesh to remove the obstacles in her library. If my mother was to survive, she couldn't waste precious energy reading romantic poetry or accounting textbooks or the novelization of the Fast and Furious 7. No, she would need to read books like How to Spearfish, Basic Hut Building, Jamie Oliver's Desert Island Dishes, and most importantly, the Diagnostic Manual for Treating Isolation-Induced Psychosis. Now that Ganesh had pointed out the fat in the library, my mother remembered she still needed Agni, the Hindu god of fire. Agni gave her light to read at night, but more crucially, he could provide the fire for Ganesh to burn all the books he needed to get rid of.
This is stupid, Jamie.
What? No, it's not. There's no correct answer to desert island gods.
Let's focus on the present. What's your mother doing now?
Okay, well, she's just woken up actually, and the first thing she does is make herself a delicious banana roti. Then she grabs her towel and whistles away down the road to take her morning bath. A plunge into the Ganges River, the most holy body of water in the world.
Isn't that where they do the death ceremonies? I'm pretty sure it's one of the most polluted bodies of water in the world.
Yeah, I know that. It's her religious bath to clear out her spiritual bacteria.
Sure.
Sure. Then my mother gets ready for work. She puts on her sari, which is black and grey and has a Ada logo wallpapered across the entire fabric. And then, as she's about to leave, she pets her sacred cow.
She has a sacred cow?
Just a cow. All the cows are sacred in India. She invested in one as a Christmas present to herself.
Your Hindu mother celebrates Christmas?
She's an Aquarius, so she's very open to other cultures.
Including Western astrology?
Yeah, she bought herself a book on zodiac signs for Hanukkah last year.
I thought she was illiterate.
It was an audiobook.
All right, you're a dickhead. Open the door, I'm here.
You didn't like desert island gods?
You pretended to have a breakthrough to stop my life.
I've stopped your life.
Yeah, my life has stopped. The world spins, deadlines approach, but I am an inanimate object.
Yet you breathe.
Go to the bookmark and read the page you highlighted.
The scaffolding of a fantasy mother must be done with attention to detail and sensitivity. Without diligent research, adoptees risk relying on inaccurate stereotypes that alienate them from their birth culture.
Cold plunges in the Ganges, sacred cows.
There are kernels of truth in those things.
You had Ganesha burning books.
Yeah, well, sometimes when you're on a desert island and you have hypothermia, you want to escape to Narnia, you want some kindling.
That's sacred stuff you're messing with. And you're insulting your culture.
Is it my culture though?
Yes.
Hang on.
What?
Let's not do this.
Do what?
You're going to act superior to the argument, then you're going to go to your room and give me the silent treatment all night.
No, I'm going to turn my phone on airplane mode and study all night.
What about distension?
There's no tension, Jamie. Please just let me recommence my life. It's exams. Don't freak out. I promise to check my messages every hour.
You think this is all about you?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you think I wrote about my birth mother to get you to come here.
I think you pretended to have a breakthrough to get me to come here.
I suppose this entire exercise is for your attention. You're the one that wants me to find her so bad.
Okay, it's happening.
What's happening?
Your weekly amnesia.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There it is. There's the amnesia, don't you see?
If it's amnesia, then I wouldn't, would I?
Please, Jamie, I don't have time to rediscover your abandonment issues.
All this birth mother stuff only started affecting me ever since we started dating. So let's just go on a break. You go study, and I'll go relieve myself of this whole soul quest.
All right, how can we fast track this? Let's watch an episode of Our Planet. Just one.
No, I think we should talk.
How about we watch the episode where the mother elephant showers the baby elephant and see if you don't cry this time?
I didn't cry.
I mean in the way that you cry. Sniffling 30 times a minute.
Okay, I've never done that. And besides, I think I might have a polyester allergy, so I threw out that blanket.
Yeah. Mother gazelle nuzzling a baby gazelle.
Okay, enough of that. Listen, I had a good time writing about my birth mother, and I thought you enjoy a comical interruption, but I'll go channel my boredom in another way. Please go study.
It's not just boredom, it's... Damn it, you're trapping me again. I don't want to start from scratch every week with your abandonment issues.
Oh my god, you're being annoying now. Please go study.
You know, it's not just nature documentaries that make you cry. It's also your GP asking for your family's medical history. It's every time you're stoned and you stare at your hands and wonder who you got your skinny fingers from. It's that time that you didn't know chai meant tea in Sanskrit. So you ordered a chai tea, then the barista bullied you for ordering a tea.
That didn't make me sniffle.
Yeah, but you gently stroked a pot plant at the coffee shop. That's another way you cry. There was also that photo of a scientist who tricked a family of ducklings to run behind him. And that time you fried onion and garlic for the first time.
Okay, that's just stupid. That's what onions do. What would you even mean by that anyways?
Look, I don't get it either, but you ran to your room and played the cello for an hour. The cello, that's another way you cry.
You don't cry when you play the cello? It's bad for the wood.
Or what about when we had sex last week?
Okay, please go.
Is it because I said baby too many times?
Go study, I won't bother you.
Oh, was it because you were left as a baby? Should I not be saying baby?
Go on airplane mode here. Take my phone just in case.
Why did you cry when we had sex?
The same reason.
What?
The smell of onion.
Oh,
Relax, it's a joke. You don't smell like onion. That was a complete fabrication.
do I actually smell like onion?
No.
All right. You're a dickhead and your fantasy mother is offensive to you and your culture.
There's no such thing as an offensive fantasy. It's mine. It's my instincts and it brings me closer to her.
Yeah, but you have too much internalized racism. So your instinct is self-hatred, then you end up insulting your ancestors.
Okay, let's turn to another page I highlighted. The fantasy mother should not be an idolization. She should be constructed using the real circumstances, no matter how unpleasant, which led to the child being given up for adoption.
Yes, I agree. Oh.
But I don't know the real circumstances. There's no point to this. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what city I was born in. I don't know if I was left at a temple or if somebody found me because they had a dumpster crying.
Well, We're going to investigate that, okay? Until then, we can read.
I have been reading. I've been reading the ancient Hindu text, the Mahabharata.
Oh, that's great.
Do you know what the whole point of this book is?
No, tell
That
me.
it's so long that you die before you finish reading it. That's how you stay a Hindu your whole life. As soon as you start reading this, you die before you can even sample the Quran.
Hey, don't insult things you don't understand yet.
Stop saying that! I'm not trying to! Fuck!
Hey, it's okay. I'm sorry I listed all those times that you weren't crying but were near an allergen.
I liked writing that fantasy. I know it's silly and offensive, but that's me, and maybe she's like me.
Maybe she would have liked it.
I liked a Prada sari, and banana roti sounds delicious.
I know. I know you love her. Maybe it's time you asked Katherine about your real mother.
Katherine is my real mother. I don't bother asking about my birth mother. I once asked her why I was a part of her family. I was 7 and I was sitting on her lap. She just said that I was left. And then a week later, she was scrubbing the dishes and said that my mother had passed away and I shouldn't worry about all that.
She changed the story?
My guess is she didn't want me to think my birth mother had a choice.
So she killed her off.
Maybe it's true. It could be my wishful thinking that's keeping her alive.
When did you start to miss her?
I've never known her. Doesn't make sense for me to miss her.
Well,
Maybe I always did. Maybe I missed her smell.
do you think she's alive?
Yeah.
Do you think if you walked past your birth mother in India, you would know?
Yeah, I think my heartbeat would get louder because it would be in sync with hers. And then my mind would go quiet and I'd feel light again. If I ever find myself walking gently on my tippy toes like I'm about to fly, I'll know someone from my family's nearby. Do you think it's harder to know why you exist in the world if you're adopted?
I don't think I can answer that.
Try to.
Ask the question again.
Is it harder to know why you exist if you were never supposed to happen?
Is anyone supposed to happen?
Yeah. People who are wanted.
Hey, Jamie, maybe she did want you.
Who?
Katherine said that your mother abandoned you, but then she said your mother was dead all along.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows what happened.
Then we should let her be.
It's your story, Jamie. You have to ask her.
Katherine believes she's my forever mother. Bonded before time itself. It makes her sick when I ask her about the past.
Hey, where's your adoption file?
Top drawer of the family filing cabinet.
Wait, how do you know that?
I saw something once.
So open that drawer.
It's my mother's drawer. It's locked.
Fuck, man, she's got you trapped. Ask her for that file now.
You hate my mum.
I haven't met her.
Yet you do, and we all know why.
Who's we? You and that blow-up doll of Katherine you have under your bed?
You hate her for the same reason you hate most people you meet. Because she's white.
No, I think it's really fucked up that she's totally denied your past and hasn't told you anything about your culture. I think it's so selfish and narrow-minded. And her lack of foresight on the subject of your racial difference is probably because, yes, she's white. You know, if she's so selfless, why is it so alienating for you to ask her about your past? What did you see in your adoption file anyway?
My birth certificate.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I saw it from afar. But I remember seeing some blue borders and some dates.
From afar?
Yeah, I heard crying in the study, so I walked in and she was leaning over her drawer looking at my birth certificate. And I asked her, "Mama, are you okay?"
And then?
She threw a sticky tape dispenser at me and told me to get out.
Wow.
She missed on purpose, I think. But that was a traumatic amount of running eyeliner to see when I was 10.
That's strange. Jamie, I didn't want to say this to you until I had more information.
What are you talking about?
International adoption is very shady.
Shady.
Yes, because like most shady things, it's lucrative. And do you know who the money makers are?
Who?
You. Abandoned children. Children who are unwanted and have no connections. They're the most attractive orphans.
That's a bleak sentence.
It's because they have no baggage. There's no one interfering with a child's life. International adoption is the ultimate form of closed adoption. And agencies are willing to lie just to attract rich white families.
Wait, they'd lie about dead mothers?
About all sorts of stuff.
So you think she might have wanted me?
I don't know. Maybe her relatives wanted you. Maybe she thought you would come back. Maybe she never left you.
Katherine doesn't know.
No, Katherine doesn't know anything.
But she's hiding something.
Yes. You need to get your adoption file.
I do.
Do you know where your birth certificate is?
Top drawer of the family filing cabinet.
Your whole file's probably in there too.
I need that key.
Katherine is definitely hiding something.
Come with me to Perth. Meet my family.
You're ready for that?
It's a couple months away.
I think you'll still be hanging on to me. I'll come if you promise to get that key.
Hi everyone! So we will now be having a 5-minute intermission. So please use this time to run to the bathroom, grab another drink, and we will meet back at 7:51. Thank you.
No, it's going round. Come round direction.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all refreshed and ready to watch the second half. Thank you.
I think Jamie should sit on the corner of the table. He's not very good with his knife skills, so he needs the extra elbow space.
And will you be sitting next to him to wipe the crumbs off his moustache?
His new friend will want to sit next to him. Although if he sits on the corner, that won't work for the campaign photo.
What photo?
Lee wants to take some photo for the election campaign. If the camera focuses on Jamie in the foreground, the rest of us will look vampiric.
I'm not going to be any photos. I'm retired from photos, actually. Don't want any more records of my face.
Is that right?
I didn't have a photo taken of me till I was 23 years old. Same year I lost all my good looks.
Pretend to be more ancient than you are, man.
What's Jamie's girlfriend's name again?
Zara.
Beautiful. I once travelled 3 days across the Sahara Desert to meet up with the Sultan's son. Yeah. Met him at a Rod Stewart concert. Alas, I fell in love with the Camellia, which is lucky because he'd already decided to take me to the village without telling me.
It's Zara with a Z, not an S.
Oh, Zara. Lovely. That means flower in Egyptian.
Does it? Well, regular Venus flytrap then. I must say, I'm a bit concerned with how political he's becoming.
Yeah, way over the top for a council election.
Not Lee, Jamie. Suppose it's got something to do with this flower that's wrapped herself around him. Speaking of poisonous vines. Politics and sadness have become new luxuries for Jamie. It's attractive for men to cry these days. You know, I think it's considered foreplay now.
Back when I was mingling, men weren't allowed to cry till the 10th day to the second marriage.
I mean, just look at how distraught Jamie is on Facebook. Look at all these capital letters. He's shouting.
Jamie? No, couldn't raise his voice in a hurricane.
Look, I stand in solidarity with First Nations people this Invasion Day. I too have had my past erased due to colonialism. Nevertheless, I'd like to acknowledge my settler privilege as an immigrant to this country and for benefiting from the invasion and dispossession of Indigenous lands. White fellas have got to go. Fuck the police.
Well, I agree. It is Invasion Day.
Sure. Bloody travesty that day. Maybe he'd be surprised to know that a couple of white fellas like us feel that way. But don't you think he's alienating his future colleagues? I mean, someone's going to save this post and use it against him one day.
Oh, my Lord. All these records these days. I couldn't bear to grow up with a face.
He says he's an immigrant to this country. I personally don't remember Jamie's arduous immigrant journey. I don't remember him in nappies sitting behind the counter at a petrol station, stealing glances at an English language textbook. What I do remember is a toddler running around the lounge pretending to be Chris Judd until he crashed into a beanbag and had to be defibrillated by his afternoon fish fingers. Jamie used to think he was white, you know. I still remember the first day he asked me, second day of preschool. He came home and said, "Why is my skin this colour?" I said, "It's the colour that suits you best, hun. God picked out your outfit the day you were born, and God's an even better stylist than me. And then the next day he came home and asked me why God had made his skin the colour of poo. Some little demon said that to him. So I said, not all poo is brown. My Indian friends used to say that I looked like bird poo when I was a kid.
Catherine, have you ever thought about writing this stuff down in a parenting book?
Pheasant's poo is also white. And perhaps more importantly, all poo turns white when it dries out.
We're all poo. Could be a Wiggle song one day.
Brown poo, bird poo, which one are you?
What are you doing?
And now he's travelling to India all on his own without any understanding of its culture or its risks. And he's stark raving obsessed with breaking into my filing cabinet.
Ah, is that what you're getting so dizzy about?
There's nothing in there for him. There's nothing in India for him either. He won't survive over there. He's too sweet and optimistic and clueless.
This BuzzFeed article says that Donald Trump wins his debates by attaching a belittling nickname to his opponents. Crooked Hillary, Low Energy Jet, Mini Mike Bloomberg. Although, it says here that he calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, which is quite cute.
Why are you getting tips from that cheesel-soaked toad?
Hey, I don't feel good about it. What about, for George Creekson, okay, what about Straight Teeth George? Yeah, because his teeth are so immaculate, he must be flossing them all day, rather than grinding them for the electorate. Yeah?
Don't try and be mean, Lee. You're not good at it.
Okay, well, what about Curious George? Yeah, because he's always asking voters for their opinions rather than generating his own ideas. Yeah?
Curious George. Like the monkey. You can't call a half Indonesian man a monkey, Lee.
Oh, Jesus. You don't think the webcam heard me, do you? Remind me to ask Jamie. Also, I'm canning the photo. We're going to do it live. An Instagram live video.
A live video.
Apparently, you get more followers when you get more viewers when you do an Instagram live video. Your followers get a direct notification. I have 3,427 followers. Imagine that, yeah? 3,427 pamphlets flying into living rooms in an instant.
Hurry up! I've just had 2 shocking Ubers in a row!
I still have time to alphabetize Jamie's comics.
Aha!
Jeffrey!
Good evening to the Honourable Minister of Bike Paths. I assure you, this is not a political bribe. Not at all. Not a bribe to change the hard rubbish collection to before my lease ends.
I can't do that.
No sippy sippy for you, then.
Did you take 2 Ubers here?
I can't take a single Uber pool from mine. It's too far. Hi, Joe.
Hello, handsome.
I thought you were working steady. Why do you need to Uber pool?
I'm working, but I'm also dating.
Are you wasting your money on lavish dates?
No, the Uber pools are the dates. Can you relax, please? What is this? A public hearing on transportation use?
Jamie's new girlfriend's coming to dinner.
Ah, first girlfriend, huh? Kath must be having a heart attack. What's their story?
Well, she's Egyptian, passionate, educated.
Overeducated, is she?
I'm not sure whether to tell you everything or nothing. What will make you behave?
Message received, brother. Political correctness engaged.
You'll be a respectful man, won't you, Jeff?
Just be yourself, Jeff. Your true self. The one that's evaded you your entire life.
I've always been myself. People just don't laugh now. That's the only difference. Jamunda, Jamunda! Come here!
Jeff man!
Gotcha. You must be Zara.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Is that my son, the reincarnation of Savaji Ganison?
Well, could we both?
I love the look. It's great to see you, son. But as handsome as you look, perhaps still not deserving of this beauty behind you.
Hi, Lee.
Wonderful to meet you, Zara, and thank you so much for supporting our cause.
What?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Still in campaign mode. Jamie is technically our number one cause, so to speak. We really do appreciate all your support and service to him, so thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. We can all do our bit for Jamie.
I take donations. Hi, Grandma! Hi! It's me, Grandma! Hi! Hey!
What leaving? And, hello, Zara.
Hi, Joe. Hi. Oh, no, I must smell like sweat. We were sprinting through the airport gates.
No. You smell like someone who's given an impassioned speech at the UN.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Mom.
Jamie, you look wonderful.
It's so nice to meet you, Catherine.
Wow, she really is out of your league, James.
Your name is James.
Inside joke. Don't worry.
Catherine, I brought this bottle of wine. I'm not entirely sure if it'll pair well with the cuisine you've prepared tonight.
What a lovely surprise. I wasn't sure you'd fit in with us grape guzzlers, but you're a Muslim that drinks. I'll have to get another glass.
Actually, I don't drink. It's just a gift.
Of course. I'm sorry. As you can tell by these slippery lips, I've already started on a glass. Although, I guess you wouldn't be able to know the signs.
Oh, no, I definitely can. Back when Jamie used to drink, he would slur compliments at me about how he respected my religious convictions.
Used to?
Yeah.
Well, what a relief for her mother to know that her son's staying out of trouble.
I still drink on occasions.
Well, if tonight's not an occasion, then I guess I'm
An alcoholic!
No, I was going to say I'm going to have to put a couple of glasses back.
Yeah, a shipping container's worth.
You shut up, please. Sorry, Zara.
Anyway, on the subject of religious convictions, I've set up a prayer area for you in the lounge, Zara.
Oh, that's really not necessary.
Now, I'm not sure this fits the dimensions of your typical prayer rug. I realise it is quite large, which may impede your focus.
That's fine. That's great.
Are you sure, Zara? Your mind may wander on a rug that size. You don't want to accidentally pray to Zeus.
Aha, very funny, Jamie. Now, there's also some satin pillows down there, candles, and I even threw my tambourine when I was in Jeff's band.
Oh. Is this tambourine sheepskin?
I believe so.
Oh no. This tambourine isn't halal, is it? I was just joking.
Very good. Okay. Now, there's also a footy game this Sunday. There's also a footy game on this Sunday that Jeff and I plan to watch, which may be a problem for your prayer schedule, Zara.
Yeah. How often do you need to pray?
5 times, Jeff. Please.
Well, I can't imagine what a sober lass like yourself is repenting for. And I imagine Kath isn't letting these two share a room to notch up any more sins while they're here.
Christ almighty, Jeff.
Oi, Muhammad Almighty Dad?
Sorry, Zara.
Thanks, Lee.
Now, if I record the game, we can pause it for you to pray and then catch up to the live broadcast during halftime. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Then again, if Ablett's kicking on goal, then we'll probably be down there praying with you. In which case, the rug is perfect size, Lee.
It's okay. I'm happy to pray in the guest room.
Yes, but the Google Assistant isn't set up in the guest room. That's the only issue. Okay, Google, play Islamic Call to Prayer.
Playing Islamic Call to Prayer on Spotify.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن
What is happening?
This is the most fucked up thing I have ever seen.
It's all good intentions. Why don't we take a seat?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So what's inspired this new fashion statement, Jamie?
Well, I'll be backpacking through India soon, and I wanted to show you all my commitment.
I was about your age during my first trip to India, Jamie. My first glimpse of entitlements.
I think you meant to say enlightenment?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Employee entitlements are on the mind. It's a hot button issue.
Could the Honourable Minister of Chlorinating Public Pools please answer his phone? Jesus Christ.
Councillor Jacobson. This could be a breakthrough in the garbage man strike. Sorry, guys. I gotta take this. Jumping Jack Jacobson. No, I just made it up.
I can't say that I'm not absolutely terrified about your trip.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Are you travelling home to discover your past, Jamunja?
Why is he calling you that?
Jeff likes to pretend that Jamie is short for an Indian name that he invents as he's talking to me. And I wouldn't say I'm travelling home exactly. This is my home. But I just want to know where the story started.
Normal to travel at your age. I did. I went to Wales.
Is that where your family's from?
No, not everything's a soul quest. Of course, at the time, you think it will be. I've travelled to a dozen different cities, prayed to dozens of different goddesses, haggled with taxi drivers in all the different dialects.
Tried all the different styles of Big Macs.
But it didn't change me, no. When it comes to the important stuff, like your career and how you raise your children, no view of Angkor Wat's going to change you. Travelling isn't how you become a better person. It took me a long time to realise that. It's about how you treat those close to you. When you love the people in your life in both thought and action, then you've mastered yourself.
Traveling did change you. I mean, you traveled to India and adopted a child.
No, I decided to do that right there on that couch. My whole life clicked into gear and came into focus and revealed my destiny to me in a single moment on that couch.
What moment?
When God told me to be mother to the motherless.
God, you're not even religious.
Joe and I are very religious, aren't we, Mum?
I've been involved in 5 major religions, 3 cults, 1 Ponzi scheme. Islam, Zara, was my most productive. Yes, the cameleer, he would just go and I would just pray and write.
Who's the cameleer?
I have no fucking clue.
Where can I find your book, Joe?
I burned all the copies when they raided the commune, but I did bury one. Though it's it's not the only thing buried out there.
Mum, you're not self-monitoring. I think it's time for bed.
Oh, I only burned them because there was a photo of me in the sleeve.
Graham hates photos.
My husband, he'd take photos of me on film and I'd rip it away from him and expose it to the light. Thought it was funny that you'd try and capture a memory and you'd expose it to some light and all of a sudden it's gone. Pathetic little photos. Yeah.
What about the memories?
I have a great memory. In fact, Nobody can fault me on it. The secret, Zara. Give me one moment. The secret, Zara, to good memory is to outlive everyone. Good night.
Does Joe have a medicinal cannabis card?
Spiritual. We both are.
So, what was the message God sent you on the couch?
Amazing, I heard it actually. It was so loud that day, screeching. And then my ears just happened to prick up when I heard the TV pastor read these words. Yeah. If you come across a bird's nest beside the road, either in a tree or on the ground, and the mother is sitting on the young or on the eggs, do not take the mother with the young. You may take the young, but be sure to let the mother go, so that it may go well with you and you may have a long life. Deuteronomy 22:6.
Wow. A TV pastor in a tacky suit is all it took. So if the TV was on the Today Show, you wouldn't have adopted a child. You would have just bought an ab swing instead?
There are very few epiphanies in a person's life, Jamie. And when they happen, you know they were always going to.
Well, I suppose I've also had an epiphany. I want to find my birth family. Kind of like you said, if I can master my family, I can master myself.
I think that's a great idea.
Let him go on his soul quest, Katherine.
When did I fucking say I wouldn't? Sorry, Zara.
Jamie, ask her about the documents.
The documents? Oh, yes. I hadn't brought them up yet because I thought Jamie and I's text correspondence was private. But now that I know that we're all in this together, yes, I'm going to request that paperwork for you, Jamie.
Don't you already have it?
No, it's with the agency. Or the orphanage? Which is closed down, by the way.
Closed down.
Yeah.
The Faith Love Orphanage in Madras has closed down?
Yes. I found out today from one of the other mums.
That's the only information I have. That's all I've got to go on.
Who shut it down?
Who? I don't know why it closed down. Maybe there weren't enough orphans. I suppose people like me shut it down.
Hang on, why don't you have my file here?
File?
My adoption file, you know, with my birth certificate and my biography, you know, the file.
This isn't the CIA headquarters, Jamie. There's no file. There's just a couple of loose pages with social worker reports and interview notes.
What about in the filing cabinet?
Jamie, we have all week to talk and reminisce about the orphanage, but can we please just enjoy each other's company tonight?
It wasn't about the garbage man strike. Councillor Jakesman called into my live video tonight and he wants in.
Well, he's not coming over.
I lied and said I was doing it tomorrow. We'll assess the fallout in the morning. It's a daily war, politics. And on that subject, Zara, did I hear you're studying political race theory? I would love to pick your brain. We don't have campaign managers for these small elections.
I actually don't study political race theory. I study critical race theory, which is the study of race as a social concept created by white people to give themselves social, legal, and economic advantages.
Right.
It's just one subject that I do.
Huh.
I think it's important to understand your victimization. For women, especially. A lot of women have no idea they're even being oppressed. Does your mother work, Zara? Of course she works. Does she have a profession?
Yeah, she's a semi-retired housewife.
Semi-retired?
Well, we're all grown up, so she no longer feels the need to manage our lives.
Can I have a glass, please?
I do think that political correctness has gone crazy.
Oh, here we go.
How far did we get, Lee?
About 20 minutes. Could be a new record.
For example, my Asian co-workers find eye contact uncomfortable. I find that very difficult to adapt to.
Maybe they're okay with eye contact. It's just when you look them in the eye, you can see how uncomfortable you always make them.
Zara.
Zara, this question may not be particularly relevant to you, but you seem like a much more culturally experienced person than I am.
Okay.
How do you compliment a man's turban without making him feel different?
How would you compliment a shirt?
That's a slick shirt, Katherine. That's a slick turban, Capri. That was easy.
That still doesn't sound right.
Does it match your socks, Capri? I tell you what, I wish I had a religious obligation to hide my receding hairline.
Oh, Katherine, is this a multicultural suburb?
No, unfortunately not.
Is your wife allowed to shave, Capri?
But Jamie's complexion became old news very quickly.
What does the colour of your turban symbolise, Capri?
Maybe you should do your own research instead of harassing Gurpreet with the first thought that crosses your mind.
Hey, it's just Jeff. Relax.
Oh.
Maybe we should start on dinner.
I'm on Google. And it says here that the red turban symbolises unity and unwavering dedication to the dark side. Oh no. This is about lightsabers. I see what I've done. I've typed in Sith instead of Sikh.
Is it time to eat yet?
Think of it. We did have one problematic name, but do you remember Mrs. Kloiberson?
Oh, Joyless Cloby.
She was always bewildered by Jamie's presence. Do you remember when you convinced her? Jamie, you tell it.
I convinced her for 2 years that I was an exchange student.
And then when she questioned him about his accent.
I said that we studied the Australian accent as an elective subject in India. Sometimes I would speak to her in the American Southern accent. She would correct me. I'd say I was studying for my end of year exams. Now, tell me, Miss Cloberson, did you watch that episode of Neighbours last night? Why does Carl let Suzanne talk back to him like that? You know you can't talk back to a doctor like that in my country.
Oh, Cloyby. She always kept a suspicious eye on Jamie, though.
How so?
Only when she first moved here.
What?
Well, you were sitting on the porch one day waiting to be picked up for soccer practice, and she'd already met me, you see, so she thought her white family lived here. So when she saw you on the porch, she thought you were being a lookout for someone trying to rob the house. Because, of course, no one suspects a little Indian boy of robbing a house. No one would call the police. Except Cloyby did.
Fucking Cloyby, why didn't you tell me?
Didn't I? Well, why would I bother you with it back then? You were 10.
You should have told me that.
No, I shouldn't. And I'm telling you now.
Well, it's important to know how people see you. It prepares you for the real world.
Zara, would you like to do an Islamic style grace before we eat?
No, thank you.
When have we ever done grace?
Mama, why don't you say something in Hindu?
That's not a language.
Why
You know
would
what
he?
I'm
Jamie's
saying.
Christian.
Am I Christian?
Well, that's how we raised you.
But you don't know if his family was Hindu.
Does the beef shank in the oven give you the impression that we're Hindu, darling?
Sorry, I mean his birth family.
He certainly wasn't a Hindu when he was stuffing his Christmas stocking every year.
It's a good question. I want to know if Hinduism has been in my blood for the last 2,000 years.
Unfortunately, there wasn't a brochure in your file which told me which cave your tribe originated from, Jamie. You didn't even have a name.
Wait, so there is a file?
There are various forms that could be stapled together and put into a file. Jamie, if you want to know about your family history, ask your father. Your family has been within these walls for generations. Our history is your history. It's what brought you into this home. Now, can we eat?
You know what? I think I will do a prayer of sorts before we eat.
Thank you, Zara.
Before we eat, I would like to acknowledge that this meal will be eaten on stolen and unceded Noongar lands.
Amazing. Okay, Google, play Didgeridoo instrumental.
Playing Didgeridoo instrumental on Spotify.
We pay our respects to Noongar elders past, present and becoming. We acknowledge that our responsibility as migrant settlers is to pay rent where it is due, as well as acknowledge that sovereignty has never been ceded. Okay, Google, stop music.
Wow. I'm feeling quite inspired after that ceremony, Zara. I think we should just go ahead and take the campaign video now.
I please just get a fucking olive in my mouth before I have to hear about your election campaign.
Could the Honourable Minister of Cleaning Nangs out of the park please pass me some bread?
Zara, is that something you do before every meal?
No, just new places where I sense it's never been done.
Well, I wouldn't want to catch a bus with you, hun. Every stop you'd be on that spiel of yours. Jamie, how's your cello practice going? You haven't sent me any videos of you playing lately. Jamie's always been the most musically talented in this family and the smartest. It'll be interesting to see what he does with all that talent. Though he seems to have taken his foot off the pedal, perhaps to save for India.
I haven't been saving.
Well, if you'd like a loan, then I think I should have some say in how you spend it. If not, then I think you should just stay at Nashram like your father did.
I sold the cello.
Excuse me? Technically, that's my cello, Jamie.
It has my name engraved on it.
The name I gave you.
I wonder what my real name is.
Jamie, what's going on?
I want my adoption file. I know it's in the top drawer of the filing cabinet, but your wife won't give me the key.
Jamie, that's your mother's drawer.
Why do I feel like we're contractors, Jamie? Look, you've spent a year away from home and it has wiped your memory.
You better be smoking the real shit, Jamie. None of that synthetic crap.
You're failing university.
Uni isn't just about grades, though. It's about exploring your identity.
So that's a yes. I'm happy to pay for private tuition. Don't stop achieving, Jamie. When people fail, they think they need to reinvent themselves. They convince themselves they never cared. But you're a musician, Jamie, and you're smartest in the family.
That's because I'm the only person in this family, not from this family.
Say again.
I'm hungry.
Darling.
Katherine, could you pass the papadums? They're on your left, Katherine. Quit staring at me like you've seen my mother's ghost and just pass the papadums, Katherine.
That's not nice, Jamie.
Lee, could you please pass the fucking big Indian crisps?
Look, son, Whether you like it or not, this was the home you were raised in. We are your mother and father, and you will respect the titles and codes of conduct established here in this meeting. Oh, dang it. Sorry, guys. I thought I was at a town hall there for a minute.
Get him a tutor.
Look, his grades have actually been great ever since he started studying part-time.
So what have you been doing with all that spare time exactly? Hanging out at that race club?
The race club?
Yes, where they met.
The people of colour safe space? Yeah, I hang out there.
And why is that?
It's nice to hear my own voice for a change.
I never raised you to use race as an excuse. But if you need to blame all your problems on it to look cute and haunted, I understand.
Wow.
You raised me to deny my race. That's why you didn't tell me about Cloyby calling the cops. All my life you've pretended I was the same and made me feel crazy anytime I felt different.
The world isn't filled with Cloybies. It's bad for your health to think the world is against you.
You didn't prepare me for adulthood. Not once did you and Dad give me the talk about how I should handle myself in dangerous situations.
Talk? Dangerous? What, you mean the sex talk? Oh, please, you were spending the most productive hours of the morning and the afternoon watching porn in your room. I figured you knew how it worked.
What?
You'd be first chair if you pulled that cello as much as that boner of yours, Jamie.
Do you purposely misinterpret me?
And, Jamie, you certainly were a white boy according to your browser history.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying you almost exclusively watched Western pornography with Caucasian performers.
You watched the porn I watched?
Is tonight the night I finally try alcohol?
No. I simply watched the titles in your browser history.
What?
In fairness to Jamie, the titles don't say delivery boy pounds white girl.
No, but I didn't see any Asian girls or black girls being pounded, and they always specify when a minority is being pounded.
God,
Sorry,
you're
you have to hear
insane.
this, Sarah.
You're insane.
Jamie, look, maybe we didn't do everything right, but you have to realise we were the first generation of parents raising boys in a post-Pornhub society.
Me and Lee explore those sites from time to time. And I must say the content is very alarming. The amount of incest material alone, I mean, the number of stepmothers unable to finish their chores without defiling their sons is very troubling to me.
It's not their actual stepmothers.
I know, but I didn't know where your head was at, Jamie. I didn't want to approach you with the sex talk because, frankly, I didn't want to turn you on.
Oh. Okay, that's not the talk I was referring to, but thank you so much for finally having it with me.
Hey, don't raise your voice, Jamie. Not while there are voters out on their evening walk.
I was referring to how you and Dad, I mean Lee, never taught me how I should behave around authority. I'm a brown man in Australia. I'm a target for police violence.
Oh, Jamie, please. You're an Indian kid in Australia. No one's going to shoot you.
We have a 6-foot Indian man on the passenger side giving me a look I don't like. Hang on. He's reaching for something. Please, sir, keep your hands still. Oh my God, he's reaching. He's reaching for a calculator. Pew, 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 pew.
Being afraid for no reason. This is why I didn't want to talk to you about race. I didn't want you to see a problem that might not be there.
Well, your plans backfired, Katherine. Now I have to go back all the way to Chennai to learn about my culture, Katherine.
Jamie, what's upsetting you?
I was abandoned and nobody wants to talk about it.
Abandoned, you were saved. Don't reorganize your world around a wound.
Don't you think you should have told him just a little bit about his culture, though?
You can only respect one woman at a time. Is that what this is?
Maybe we should take the video before things descend any further.
I'm ready to take the video if Katherine is ready.
Don't call me Katherine.
Okay, maybe not.
I still play music, you know. There's a jazz lounge that has a double bass I've been tinkering with. I'm really only into improvisation now.
Well, that's great.
I find that creativity is the only way for me to connect to my instinct, my genetic instinct. When I play uninhibited, I wonder if my mother would have plucked the same notes. Maybe it's her song I'm playing.
I fed those fingers too.
Did you know that genetics is more significant than environment when predicting personality?
I don't think so.
No, it's true.
So if I had left you in India, your favourite meal would still be honey soy chicken? Oh, that's right, it was not on the orphanage's menu.
Thank you, Katherine. Thank you so much for saving me. Is my debt repaid yet? Can I fucking live my life without having to be so grateful?
Hey, lower your voice.
When I get stressed, I like to imagine what my birth mother is doing. And right now, I'm imagining her eating a banana roti.
In India.
Well, I mean, it's always roti time in India.
Have you ever thought about somebody so much that you get embarrassed because they're probably not thinking about you? And then at that moment, your phone pings and they've sent you a message?
Bound to happen on occasion.
Maybe you will that by thinking about them. I've been thinking a lot about my birth mother, and I wonder if it's because she's already been thinking about me. I've spent my whole time in this place thinking where I am, and it's silenced my birth mother. I need to separate from you so I can visualize her.
Jamie, you're discovering the power of manifestation.
Is that what you've been doing? Trying to manifest an adoption file that doesn't exist?
Yeah. Manifesting the key to the top drawer. Manifesting my mother.
That's my drawer. Those are my documents and my memories.
Jamie, a lot of the ideas you're exploring remind me of why I first fell in love with Chennai. I wonder if this very moment is metaphysically connected with my time there, when I was sitting under the South Indian sun, contemplating how I would one day share my practice with the people I loved. Okay, Google, gently put my phone to silence.
Turning phone to silent mode.
Okay, Google, play Om Chant.
Playing Om Chant from voice memos.
The mind strains to break down the walls of its own prison. Memory and belief are our pickaxe. Jamie, you have turned inwards and are creating more tunnels within tunnels. But there is one truth you can devote yourself to. One truth. One man. One candidate in this election that has your best interests at heart. Oh, damn it. I lost it.
You had me going, Lee.
Hang on, let me get my singing bowl. Jeff, come out and move some boxes.
Jamie, you like your papadums?
Yes, Katherine. You're insane.
Don't call me that. Or Katherine.
You should be grateful. I don't even know my name.
You were nameless. You were left with a Blanket and a birth date written on a piece of paper. That's everything I have. That's it.
Where was I left?
A temple.
Your mother's Hindu.
Temples are everywhere. The nearest temple might have been closer than the bus stop.
Jamie, don't you see? She left your birth date for your Hindu chart so that you can predict your future.
Yeah, to predict my future, my relationships, my career?
That's a stretch. Although it would take a god to predict her being here. Please stop this godforsaken speaker.
If you consider Jamie your son, then you would give him as much information as possible to help resolve his identity.
Resolve his identity? This is rupturing his identity. I mean, everyone experiments in their 20s, but some people go too far and they never come back.
Give me the key.
I'm not letting you into my personal files, Jamie. Perhaps that's difficult for someone of your generation to understand. It's my private property.
Well, you haven't had any trouble breaching my privacy
would
before.
you give me your laptop password? No.
Yeah, I would. You're always going into my privacy, aren't you?
Lee, what are you doing?
I'm breathing, honey.
What a coincidence. So am I.
Please just let me do this. It's 20 minutes a day.
Lee, if you don't get up right now to move your car out of the driveway, I'm going to take it to my appointment.
The key's on the dresser.
Move your car
Google,
or I'm
stop.
taking it to the appointment.
The car has my campaign photo on it now. I don't want it parked outside the psychotherapist's office.
Google,
Lee,
stop.
I'm going to
Stop
take your
playing my
car
voice.
and then I'm going to park it outside the strip club and walk home.
Okay, Google.
Stop playing Catherine's voice.
Now playing day 36. Catherine's voice in voice memos.
It's day 36 of the campaign. I haven't done an audio journal in a while. Catherine's been a saint. She's been folding pamphlets for me all day. But I don't think I can be in the same room with her any longer. It's her voice. It's morphed with age. It's beginning to sound like a fork in a disposal unit with a bunch of ball bearings being sprinkled into it. Lee, you should have gone with blue. Lee, you should have shown your teeth. Lee, is this a waste of paper? Lee, leave me. Sometimes I wish she'd say that. I have absolutely no libido.
Okay, how do I...
But I have to stay positive for the campaign. It's not fair to blame the campaign.
Okay, Google, shut down and kill yourself.
Found it. What? What's so funny? Why are you all happy? No, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is it. Jeff, sit down. We're doing the live video now.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, I'm going to introduce the video and then pass the phone to you guys to do a testimonial. I want you to embrace the phone like it's a hot bowl of golden roast potatoes and then pass it along. All right, who read the scripts I sent? You know what? Doesn't matter. Just be spontaneous. Jamie, I need you to refer to me as your dad, please, just for the video. Catherine, you're going to crush this. Just relax, honey. Maybe take a sip of wine before the camera gets to you. Jeff, just stick to the script. Yeah, no jokes, please. Your jokes are just a way for you to pretend that your life is an attitude rather than a failure. So say that I'm a student of global culture. Do a shout out to the Islamic community. Actually, you know what? You do you. Make it spicy. All right, who's pumped? I'm pumped. Let's do this, guys. Remember, roast potatoes. Good evening, members of the East Ward. It's Councillor Lee Taylor here, wishing you a very special Tuesday night. Special not just because it's discount day at the roller rink, but because every night is an opportunity to celebrate family and community. The East Ward is my family, and my favourite family within that family is my actual family. So let's take this as an opportunity to all get to know each other, like one big, happy family.
Hey guys, little brother Jeffrey here. What can I say about Lee Taylor other than that he's the best big brother ever? He's caring, kind, thoughtful, responsible. We're really close, aren't we, Lee? But not like bury a body close. Because that's not what he's about. He's not a crook. He respects all the protocols of the East Ward. So you all better vote for my brother. You hear?
It's live. It's live. What are you doing? Say something. Oh God, just pass to Zara. Just get.
Hi, I'm Zara, Lee's adopted son's girlfriend. Lee loves Muslims. سلام همه شما خیلی خوش آمده امشو درباره اسلام گپ بزنم. این مردی که از استرالیا هسته اینجا زندگی میکنه چند لغت دیگه هم میگه بگم white male انگار که چیزی بگفتم. Thanks.
Jen, what did she say?
My husband Lee is the warm, compassionate, resourceful leader of the Taylor family and the local council. He puts everything into the East Ward. In fact, I would like to personally thank the voters because for the last 3 months, he simply hasn't had the energy to roll his sweaty, gelatinous mass on top of me to initiate sexual contact at night, which has enabled me to read more novels this year than ever before.
No, give it here.
I've been kidnapped by a white family.
No.
Give it to me.
No. How do I? No, delete. How do I? No.
Barely anybody would have seen it.
The cheese, Catherine. The whole board. Everyone gets a notification when you go live.
Well, that's my cue. Zara, lovely to meet you. Jamie, your girl's got a cool head. Kath, I'm going to take this from you to save you from any more trouble. Good night to the Honourable Minister of Face Painting Services. Have a think about that hard rubbish collection. Find yourself in India, mate. And remember, never stop laughing, Jamdy. Brown power! See ya.
What are you trying to say, Mum? What are you trying to say?
Your father has always supported you unconditionally.
I only had my gun drawn because I knew you were about to do something insane.
If anything, she started it.
I just followed his instructions.
Ignore her, she's insane.
Stop calling me insane. It is very well documented how uninsane I am. Do you know how many psychological evaluations I had to go through to adopt you?
No, I don't. Give me the file so I can find out.
I left all that behind. I didn't want a start date written on a piece of paper. Our bond is eternal.
That bond is with my birth mother.
I am your forever mother, Jamie. Your bond is with me and God.
Please.
God told me to adopt you.
Did God tell my mother to abandon me?
She wasn't listening. I was. I was so restless here and I wasn't helping anyone. And then I went to India and all the clutter cleared away. He told me to be mother to the motherless.
And what about his people and his country? Was that clutter? Did you even try to look for his family, or was that just getting in the way of your clarity?
I wanted him to have a mother so much that I became his mother.
But you wanted him to be abandoned. Who would want that? Who would want their child to be abandoned?
It's not your place, Zara.
No, I think it is my place. You brought me to this place. I've tried to be nice and patient. I even played the tambourine. I even pretended that I prayed 5 times a day just to be polite to their assumptions.
Everyone likes you.
You told me that if I kept my angry Arab mouth shut and loved you, it would be enough to be accepted by them. I should have known better.
You are accepted by them.
Well, she doesn't like me.
I think you're very educated.
Why does that sound like an insult?
You are educated beyond your intelligence, darling. But intelligence will come with experience.
You act polite, but you're so hostile. You're so scared of me. I'm an alien that's crash landed in your living room, and you're terrified that I'm going to zap you back into the lonely person you were before you took Jamie.
Don't make it out to seem like she stole me.
I saved him.
We saved each other, Catherine.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but stop acting like it's God's miracle. It's a tragedy that he had to be found.
That's what I have to live with, Catherine. You don't. And I want to know, where is my birth family?
I don't know.
She never tried to know.
Maybe I should have tried harder. But I focused on my job. I knew other birth mothers who didn't see their children as their own. They indulged in guilt. They felt like they were babysitting someone else's child. Maybe I was delusional, but I was a focused mother. It paid off.
Did it pay off? I'm going back all the way to Chennai with fucking Google Translate and a polite smile.
You shouldn't smile, Jamie. They'll take advantage of you.
Right. Because they're all criminals?
There are things I've seen that you don't have a book for, darling.
No, they're all criminals. Brown criminals. You had to see them that way. Otherwise, how could you think to take him without asking any questions?
You love yourself, Jamie, like you did before. Without India, you were a happy child.
How do you know I loved myself?
You were happy until you got attention for being sad.
A brown man can't love himself unless he loves his skin.
Jamie did.
How is he meant to do that? He's never been loved by anyone that's looked like him.
Have you ever been loved by a white person?
No.
Well, maybe you should take your own advice and find a white boy to love you. Maybe then you'd realise we're all the same.
How do you know I loved myself? I don't even know. Maybe I don't understand love. Maybe love and all its secrets are shared in the first 4 weeks when you're in your mother's arms. I'm so tired of not knowing what I'm missing. And I'm tired of looking happy.
I don't know what you need now. But I knew what you needed then. When you were in India, you needed a mother. Who knows what you need now?
My real mother.
I was naive. I should have done more to learn about your past. I was stubborn. People told me that birth mothers were addicted to substances. But I thought India would be different. I didn't want there to be anything outside of my control. But who knows, maybe she didn't look after herself.
Maybe she didn't.
Ignore her, Jamie. She's drunk.
Give me the key.
When the judge in India told me that this child had been through enough, I promised myself that I would never look back.
He doesn't belong to you.
What did she do to you?
Who?
Her? And your junkie mother.
Give him that key. Your people colonized his land, enslaved his people, stole their resources, and left his mother in the streets so that she couldn't raise her child. And then you realise for you to have a ticket back, others had to sleep in the gutter. So you took one of their children to cure your guilty heart, and then you never looked back.
Whatever.
Guilt and hatred, Catherine, not love, gave you the strength to kidnap me.
Thought I could save you from that orphanage. But that mother of yours clearly did a number on you. You were meant to be growing inside her.
I want that key, Catherine.
You'll never get that key, boy.
Is the cake out yet? Oh, no one's touched it.
We've been talking.
Yeah, it's been a well-kept secret.
Don't you have a press release to write?
Yeah, that's what I was about to do. I just need a list of your medications and their side effects.
Lee, everything I said in Farsi was nice. Really.
It's good to hear. Saves me having to get a translation from Councillor Ali. I would have had to recite the Farsi syllables from memory, which could have looked pretty bad, so...
I have something for you, Jamie.
Oh, not on BuzzFeed yet, so...
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I got Dunkaroos this morning. Your favourite.
What's wrong with you? I don't want to snack, Catherine. I want my past.
Do you think I care if you love me? It means nothing to me. I love you unconditionally, regardless of if you love me or you want to call me Katherine.
That's a selfish love.
I don't exist for you to love me.
You exist to live, to enjoy life like everyone else, to eat Dunkaroos. Think of your mother if you have to. Who knows, maybe they were made in India. Maybe she's stirring a giant vat of hazelnut as we speak for these Dunkaroos. You do your prayer, I'll do mine.
Yeah, pray to your own sainthood.
There was another boy at the orphanage, Jamie. And I think of him. I can see him sitting next to you right now, eating those Dunkaroos.
Oh, enough, Catherine.
Little Angelo. He had the most beautiful open mouth. He would cry when I didn't pick him up. I don't think he would have dragged his fork around tonight's meal. But he was a toddler when I met him. Too risky, I thought. How could I think such a thing?
She's clearly drunk, Jamie. Ignore her.
He definitely wouldn't have been handsome enough for Zara. But I thought he had a beautiful mouth. Do you know what happens to a little boy with a cleft palate in a Chennai orphanage, Jamie? He'd be out on the streets by now. I was so sad when I brought you home because I knew that little Angelo would be destined to die young. Not so little anymore. Pushed out onto the streets, scavenging, stealing, sleeping with one eye open, doused in kerosene because he stole from the wrong gang, found by the river. He didn't know my job was to love you. I hope he forgives me. Jamie, pass the Dunkaroos to the seat beside you. I want Angelo to have them. What is that?
He was in a jewelry box.
What are you doing?
Let it out.
Fuck are you talking about? That's mine.
Let him understand how you became a mother.
That's mine, Jamie. It has nothing to do with you.
This is it. The blue border, this is the certificate.
Lee, you horrible, twisted man.
Oh, just try to stop speaking.
You still resent me. You do. This is not your story to tell.
I would have been the one here for her.
Who's Madeline Cassidy? September 14, 1993. Who is this?
Not my story, she says.
He's lying. Jamie, your father's trying to hurt me.
What is this?
Jamie, it's the other child's certificate.
The other child? You should finally say it.
I loved you. Okay? I loved every part of you.
Don't you dare.
It's just, you don't listen anymore. All you do is talk until there's nothing else. Until there is nothing and no one else. And it's just getting so deafening in this house. I can't take it anymore. I gotta go.
Who is Madeline Cassidy?
My child, Jamie.
Mom?
I'm so sorry, Catherine.
She didn't survive the world. Is this what you've been begging me for?
You didn't say anything. I'm sorry.
My story. Not his, not yours. She could sniff the weakness in me. She could sense the guilt. But it was a different kind.
This is not your fault, Catherine.
She never had 4 loving hands to rub her. I don't think she even had 2. I wished I could have loved her after I lost her, but you can't love something you never nurtured.
But you did? She was inside you. You're remembering wrong.
You should have seen the person I was before all of this. I was becoming who I wanted to be. Have you seen the photo of Lee and I in front of the clock tower at UWA? I was going to do a thesis there, maybe even become a professor. I was going to run around James Oval and my students would wave at me and I'd run over to them and we'd schedule a consultation. I haven't been able to see the future that was meant for me since before.
Before her. Before I was born.
You saved me, beautiful boy. The world became so much bigger than me after I went to India.
There has to be something in here.
Nothing.
You want there to be nothing! Someone may have wanted me!
I did!
I have a family somewhere, they're waiting for me.
Amy, leave it until tomorrow.
You needed me to be unwanted. You needed a child that was hated more than you hated your own.
You told me how to love again, Jamie. How to love my husband, how to love my life. You made this family possible.
Your family!
Our family! You gave us a future.
What about my future? You didn't care. You didn't ask any questions and now we're here. 20 years later and I'm going back to India with nothing. I am not your son. I'm a band-aid.
God told me to have you.
God told you to repent for your sin.
Jamie, that wasn't a sin.
You buried your baby and you stole my mother's. I want to feel sorry for you, but you never said sorry to me. I have been grieving my birth mother my whole life.
I lost my child, Jamie.
Well, I'm a dick. I'm my fucking mother's son, aren't I? Why would I care about a baby? I'm like her. I leave them at temples. I'm bad blood. I come from criminals. Loveless abandoners of children. Criminals and thieves that stole me.
No, they found you at a Hindu temple. You were safe.
No, I'm bullheaded! You chose me because I was stupid and ugly, and you needed to feel better after something you did.
Catherine, you're a mother, and maybe that's why I don't fully understand you.
Why'd you name her Madeline?
It's what my dad wanted to name me.
What snacks do you think she would have liked?
Mars bars. And gummy snakes.
Not for me.
Her father used to decapitate them with his teeth. Looks stupid. What does your birth mother cook for you?
Banana roti, chicken curry.
Which curry?
She just calls it chicken curry. Does Madeline play the cello?
No, she's not musical.
Why not?
We tried. She just liked to run around outside. She liked to burn things.
Is she dating anyone?
A Korean guy. She set Lee's tambourine on fire once. It was funny.
Who's this Korean guy?
A backup dancer. Very light on his feet. Very handsome. I flirt with him.
Is that right?
Just a flirt. I'm not a frisky mother-in-law. I would never berate him for not knowing how to pleasure my daughter and then show him how it's done.
Stop telling me you watch porn.
Fine.
My mother has a sacred cow, you know?
Cool. I remember Madeline went to India to volunteer. She met your mum.
She took a photo of my mum when she was picking curry leaves.
Liked that photo on Instagram.
My mum was like, "Who's this dumb white girl taking a photo of a tree?"
My daughter asked your mum for directions.
My mum forced her to come inside for tea.
She said your mum could hold 2 tumblers 2 meters apart and pour tea between them.
Now Madeline does it when she's drunk on the dance floor.
for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the show and would like to show your support for Four Letter Word, please feel free to purchase one of our $10 tote bags that were made in collaboration with Sowing Seeds, a women's empowerment project in India that provides disadvantaged women with sewing skills and financial independence. If you would like to purchase one of these bags, simply click on the link that has now been posted in the chat, which I will do right now. We will now also be opening up the chat so you can talk with the actors and congratulate them on their great performance. Thank you.
No, it's going round. Come out eventually.
thank you all again for watching this evening. We're now going to close the webinar. We hope you have a fabulous night and thank you for coming along. Bye.